Hello, bookworms. We are on to our new book. I hope you guys are excited. I have wanted to read this one for a while, so I'm really excited to do Treasure Island. I think this will be a fun one for summer. I always try to see the ocean, so I love ocean-inspired type books for the summer for sure. So anyway, I thought the boat would be a great one to start off with, to just get us right in the mood for our pirate adventure. So I've already pre-traced, and I'm going to set my thing to the side. I'm going to use my ink pen. So I'm going to grab those microns out. And then I have the little bonus. So this is just some gouache. I put it on a little palette for you guys. So I know a lot of people have not tried this before. I know some of you have. But I thought this would be like a fun little way for those of you that have not tried it to try it. And the cool thing about this is, it will last you a really long time. So you guys have seen me use the gouache on the other videos. So I thought I'd make you guys your own little palette. But yeah, it keeps coming, just like watercolor does. So keep your little palette. You can let it dry out just like you do watercolor. It's a little more vibrant than watercolor most of the time, but it's a fun little thing to use, and that way you guys can try something new. All you have to do is wet the paint. There we go, get that cleaned up. I have a water pen here I'm going to use, and then yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop a little drop of water on each of my colors. I'm going to let that sit while I ink my page up. So I'm going to use my smallest one. I'm going to do that sketchy technique that I like to do, where I sort of pick my pen up as I go, where it looks very sketched on. I thought this would be good with this picture here, so I'm going to get a lot of these lines back in after I get this done. Look, I have a blister from gardening. We just all finished the secret garden, and we have a pretty large garden, vegetable garden mainly, and I hoed my garden the other day with gloves on, and I have my no jewelry on or nails today. We are full-blown summer here at my little mini farm, so I've got all my freckles popping out. I'm ready for summer. All right, I'm gonna rotate this so I can get the right angle. So just, was it last week or the week before, right before I sent the box out to all of you guys, I saw that they're coming out with a new Treasure Island movie, which looks really cool, and it's Hugh Jackman is going to play Long John Silver. So I don't know if that's this summer or next summer that they're, I can't remember. Or maybe it's just announced. Anyway, now I'm trying to remember what I read. I can't. But anyway, I thought that was so funny that I was getting ready to send this out and then saw that, because social media can read our minds. So apparently it knew I was getting ready to send this out and sent me that article, because I wasn't looking for anything about that. I was, I guess, researching quotes and stuff maybe around that time, a couple weeks ago, when I was putting it all together. Maybe that's what it was. So it was sort of reading my mind. But anyway, I thought that would be really cool. I hope it comes out pretty soon, so that I don't remember now. I can't remember if I looked up when it was actually supposed to happen or not. Okay. I think it'll be really neat, though. I think he'll be a good Long John Silver. Didn't he play a Captain Hook one time? Or am I crazy? Is there some movie he played Captain Hook in? I feel like there is. Maybe that's why I think, oh yeah, he'll be a good pirate. I don't know. I might be crazy. I feel like there was some random Peter Pan movie my kids watched that had him as Hook in it, but now I can't. Everything's muddled together. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. It just like occurred to me that I feel like I've seen him as a pirate before. Okay. Alright, so we'll go with that. That's good enough down below. And then get the rest of these sails in. Okay. And the clouds. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my eraser and get rid of all these pencil lines, and then I'm going to add a little more lines into this. There we go. Okay, so I want to do more swirls and stuff on the ocean. Let's see. Okay. And I think I'm gonna leave the clouds. I think I like the clouds the way they are. Okay, we're gonna go with that for now. And then I've got my pen and my gouache that has been sitting. So it should all be ready to go. I'm going to start with the blue. Look at that vibrancy. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so pull the blue down. I'm going to make it darker as it gets lower. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up some, actually let's try this purple. I'm going to put some purple in there. Ooh yeah, that's pretty. Cool. Alright, and now for the black. I'm going to make it really dark down here. I need to get that white gel pen, Kayla, that you were talking about. I think I need that in my life. I think that would be pretty to put some of the detail back into this. All right. So then I'm just gonna squeeze my brush out, get that cleaned up. Fade some of this a little better. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a blue wash. Actually, I think I want to do like a really light blue wash for all of it. I should have done that to begin with. Alright. I'm going to hit this with my heat gun real quick so that I can move on. And then I'm gonna pick up some of this white and add some detail to these clouds here. So I'm just gonna hit the tops of the clouds, I guess, yeah. The fluffy part. I'm really trying to pick up a decent amount of white. I really want a dot. There we go. That's a little better. So that really pulls. That looks so cool. And then I'm just gonna put some fluffy things in there to make these clouds stand out a little better. Okay, I really like that. All right, so same thing with the sails. I'm gonna brighten those up a little. Especially this area, they've got a lot of blue in. Okay, so while they're still white on my brush, I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of black and make like a gray. And then I'm going to go right along the edges of these sails. The bottom edge there. Just realized I don't have a gap between my sails right here. There we go. I'll touch my color up here in a little bit anyway. Okay. All right, so now that I've got those, I'm gonna pull that color up to give it some depth. This is my shadow on the bottom of my sails. I forgot to mention, which I'm sure you guys know, you can use any paintbrush with this. It doesn't have to be a water. I don't know why I didn't talk about that when we started. So all you have to do is just get them a little damp with a regular paintbrush. Okay. I like it. All right, so then I need to do the brown. And clean my brush off. There's a lot of white on there. Do a brownish color. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white for that too. Soften it a little. All right, and then the masts. All right. And then I'm going to do a black pirate sail, I guess. I mean, I guess technically they could have black like sails, but I don't know. Did they? It's a good question. Did they actually have black sails? Did the pirates have the money to have dyed sails? I don't know. It's a good question. I guess, I mean, they were stealing, so. All right. That's pretty cool. I like it. Rinse my brush a little more. I want to put a little white into the ocean. Get some highlight. See, this is where I do think the gel pen would be cool. All right, but this is working pretty well. Just giving a little highlight. That's cool. All right. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun again and then touch up some of my ink work. Okay. Huh. I know it's dry. Why is it not sketching? What is happening? There we go. I think I was pushing too hard and it was like going into the... I'm just trying to add a little more texture to everything. Especially the boat. I think I keep getting, like, you can sort of feel the texture of the paint on here, and I think it's sort of getting stuck on my pen. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that though. Actually, I'm really happy with that. I like that one a lot. I think it's super cute. Oh, sorry, I pulled it out of view. Alright. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. You can see all my sketchy lines. Cool, huh? Alright, so this is just I'm gonna let this dry and be my little cute palette that I can pull out when I want to do something really quick. But look, isn't that cool? Really, like, hopefully you guys can see the texture of the clouds. I feel like that worked really well. All right, well, I'm excited to see yours. I'm excited to read the book with you. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. I already started on my character cards for this time. I've been having a lot of fun with these, doing the colored pencils. I tried to do like a glow around him. I'm going to work on it to try to blend it out a little more. So we've got Jim Hawkins, and I already started in Long John Silver. And then I was going to mention I just did, like, I followed the rope lines really closely and didn't like cut right against them, but I thought that looked really neat, and I think that would be cool looking in the Weekly Whimsy book. So that's sort of what I was thinking. I think I'm gonna jazz these up a little bit more with funner like edges and stuff, but that was what I've done so far. I did a little bit of watercolor on this guy and then ended up going to pencil. The watercolor just doesn't, this cardstock can't handle the wet very well. But yeah, that's where I'm at with those so far. So I look forward to seeing your guys's, and I look forward to seeing your Weekly Whimsies. All right, guys, have fun with the new book and have a good summer.